There's quite the delay. I'll wait a couple seconds. I think we're live now. A woman in Florida arrested for saying deny, defend, depose. Arrested. $100,000 bond. Lakeland, Florida woman. And when insurance companies use those same words as a policy, it's considered good business. Incredible. Truly, truly remarkable. This Lakeland woman locked up. $100,000 bond. From what I gathered from the article is she had no priors. She didn't even own a gun. She wasn't a troublemaker. She just said those words. She did say, I think she said, because the call is recorded for quality assurance as always. Little pro tip, when you pick up your phone call, if somebody's calling you that you don't know, say this call is recorded for quality assurances. But this Lakeland woman in Florida arrested with a $100,000 bond for saying the insurance policy back to them. That is weird. That is so weird. This world is so backwards. I gotta shut off the fucking alerts on my phone. Jesus Christ, people, please just leave me alone for a minute. A minute. I should have put it in focus mode. But it's really, really remarkable that this woman in Lakeland, Florida, locked up for saying deny, defend, depose, for essentially saying the insurance company's policy back to them. When insurance companies implement deny, defend, depose as a policy and people lose their lives, can't get life-saving care, life-extending care, can't get access to the health care that we have as a civilization work towards all these millennia, when insurance companies do that, implement that practice, they're hailed and lauded as good business people. If a citizen in Lakeland, Florida says it on the phone to an insurance person, after her claim was denied, she gets arrested. We are living in a bass-ackwards world, folks. So we're going to talk about that Lakeland woman locked up, $100,000 bond for saying those three little words, for saying the insurance company's implemented policy back to them. That's messed up. We're also going to talk about Joe Rogan. I think he's got to be still the biggest video podcaster. I'm back, Solus. What's up? I'm back. I can never get away from being reached out to. I just need 10 minutes of commentary time. That's all I need in my life. I just need a little bit of time. Time is the most valuable thing we have. And then people wonder why millions of people celebrate when a CEO is assassinated because he robbed people of their time. He profited off of extending their lives, extending their time, so he could get 10 million a year. What were you saying before? After I said, save the player, you're back. What's up, CJ? Ricky888. Good morning, American. Where you from, Ricky? 888. I don't know what I was saying, Solus. I'm sorry. So we're going to talk about the woman in Lakeland, Florida locked up. I got a Sesame Street story for you, too. And I got a radical take. If you thought you've heard the most radical takes ever, I'm going to shock you today with this one. This one is going to send all those drinking snowflake tears in a coffee mug people out their rocker. Their panties, they're going to have so much sand in their panties, it's going to be like the Sahara Desert. Panties are going to be in such a bunch. It's going to be what comes in bunches. I'm not that good. But this radical take on Sesame Street is going to... And then you're probably going to agree with me. So we'll talk about the Sesame Street news in a little bit. Joe Rogan, he's got to be still the biggest video podcaster. And his AG1s, Athletic Greens, the New Zealand company, turns out that there are quite a few people having liver issues after introducing this AG1s to their diet. Now, I know there's a lot of YouTubers who probably do the AG1s, but none of them are as big as Mr. Rogan's, Spotify, YouTube, all that stuff. No, none of them have the Rogan reach, okay? The old Rogan reach around. None of them have that Rogan reach, okay? It's a hard thing to get. They don't have that $100 million sauna, okay? And you would think when you get to that $100 million level, you start to be weary of what you're promoting, you know? People want access to you. And I learned this in my youth when I was on the radio. Like, you can't just sell everything. Well, you can, but it's not good for your audience. It's not good for you. It erodes the soul. But apparently Rogan's AG1, he should have looked into this dude. The dude that created it, story link down below, by the way. If you're new here, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell after you hit subscribe. I go live every weekday. I think today's a weekday. I don't know. I'm kind of out of it. I'm a little disheveled. But I try to link all the articles that we talk about. Anything I plan to talk about, I'll link it down below. So the New Zealand Herald down below talks about this dude, this Kiwi, which is a great name for a people. A Kiwi. He's such a Kiwi. Don't be such a Kiwi. Kiwis have the funniest accent in the entirety of the world. God grace them with the best accent for comedy. Don't believe me? Go watch Flight of the Conchords. Should have stuck to hot yoga. But this Kiwi that created AG1s, is the founder, is the one who's pumping all the money into YouTube for people to sell his Athletic Greens one. Apparently has run a few schemes before this company. Before his $1 billion vitamin, which is what I'm assuming they call it in New Zealand. Here in America, we call it vitamins. But his vitamin company, which is just so loosely regulated. I'm pretty sure you could fucking stuff ground up leaves into a capsule and call it your autumn. This diagnoses your autumn, what would you call it? Your autumn something. Autumn immune disorder. Your autumn immune disorder. That's what we'll call it. I could grind up some fallen leaves. I could grind up some fallen leaves. When I rake the leaves, I can put them into a grinder, crush them up, put them in a pill, put them in pill form, and said, this will heal your autumn immune disorder. Do you miss the season of fall all year round? Take these pills and you'll feel like it's fall. Side effects called diarrhea, puking, and dry throat. But the federal regulations, which is crazy, to think that Trump wants to deregulate more. They say the problem is not enough deregulation. We need everything deregulated. We just need the police to police themselves, and they promise on Scouts Honor they'll be on their best behavior. They won't sell you lead paint. They won't sell you asbestos in your baby powder, which is a real thing. Sad to say. Johnson & Johnson promises they'll not put any more asbestos in their talc baby powder. If you haven't seen that, autumn's immune disorder. If you got autumn's immune disorder and you miss fall all year round, I got the cure for you. But the FDA really doesn't regulate vitamins. So I'm guessing this shyster, the guy who created AG1s, just look into him, read the story down below. He didn't pay the people that had sued him before. He had other companies that I'm guessing went bankrupt, or he got taken to court, or had to dissolve the corporation because they were schemes where people lost their money, homes, a bunch of stuff. This dude was like, oh, what's not really regulated? There will be no accountability for me. There we go. Vitamins. I could chop up a bunch of broccoli and put in some nutrients and sell it to people. Well, it turns out these AG1s, be careful. Just be careful, folks, because there's a few different reports and some studies saying like, oh yeah, this can mess with your liver. Which, if you don't know, liver is pretty important. I won't go into the science of it, but let's just say your body, it does your body good. And what bugs me is like people like Joe Rogan who don't need the money. You know, I get it. There's YouTubers who are just trying to keep their channel afloat and maybe they're taking it and they don't know about this. But Rogan can thoroughly vet. He has teams of people that can thoroughly vet this stuff. But more importantly, when you get to the spot like me, when I was working at radio, at first I needed money, I would sell anything. And then over time, I started to realize there were a few key moments for me where I was like, I can't just be selling shit to people. Like, it has to be something I trust or I use. And that's really what I did. Like the car insurance that I did endorsements for on the air. I'm trying to think what else there was. But it was like, it basically broke down to like, I knew, I could stand there, talk to people face to face and tell them this is something reliable. This is something I use myself. I don't know if Rogan drinks it himself. But you'd figure when you get to the point where you're not desperate for money, you vet these things a little better. And it's sad because there are really people, the celebrity is so alluring and so hypnotic for people. Just look at Trump, this guy is not qualified in anything besides probably pooping his pants. If you've seen that story of him out of France, there's people going on TV being like, yo, that dude smelled like poop. He smelled like makeup, BO, ketchup. They said he smelled like all those things in a blender. And there's a video of him sitting alone because people claim he pooped his pants in France and no one was sitting up next to him. But that dude isn't qualified for nothing. And because he's a celebrity, because he was on TV, people associate him. Because his dad had money, they associate him with genius or qualified to handle. Or the funniest part about Trump is people are like, he's an outsider. He's anti-establishment. I'm like, bitch, he is the establishment. This dude was in the 80s and 90s bragging about having a gold toilet, bragging about his towers being the highest in the skyline in New York City after 9/11. This dude, is as established as you could get. He talked about how he could donate to politicians, and if he called them later on, they would do whatever he wanted. I mean, this is as establishment as you get. But because of the celebrity, people become disillusioned. So with Joe Rogan hawking AG1 or whatever, you'd figure he has, with great power comes great responsibility. Didn't everybody watch Spider-Man? Or read Spider-Man? Or hear about Spider-Man? And old Uncle Ben? Plus, I think Uncle Ben took that from Jesus. Let's be real. I think Jesus was the first one to lay it out. He was like, listen, if you got great power, you got great responsibilities. OG Jesus quote. And you would think when people aren't desperate for dough, they vet those things a little more. They're a little more cautious. Some people still, man, they want that money. CJ, our government does as little as possible to protect us. As little as possible, and that's clearly because the lobby industry, Citizens United. And when you hear, it's so funny to me, these people that would be like, I'm a libertarian, I think business is small government. And then you ask them, oh, so you're you're pro-choice? You think women should be able to have body autonomy? And they're like, oh, no, not a government that small. They fucking walking hypocrites. Ooh, who doggy? But libertarians is like, that's just not a real thing to me. That's like a blue whale. Like, I've never seen one. I'm not sure if those are real. I've heard that narrator, whatever his name is, that good old dude, speak over footage of them. But let's be real. Are blue whales a real thing? We don't know. Just like libertarians. Like, I've seen them in real life. I've spoken to one, but I don't know if that's a real thing. I think they're NPCs. They're NPCs, They're just here. They're glitches in the matrix. They don't even know what they're talking about. So yeah, just be careful. And YouTubers, man, it was like, what really bugged me? When YouTubers were all selling that square foot of land in Scotland. Like, whoever came up with that, it's genius that they suckered all of YouTube into selling that shit. And it's even more genius that no YouTuber, because every time I'd see those commercials, if you've never seen them, I forget what it was called, but it was everywhere. You couldn't click on a YouTube without seeing an ad or a YouTuber do a live endorsement for selling a plot of land in Scotland. And then you get a piece of paper that says you're a lord or a lady because if you own land in Scotland, you're immediately a lord or a lady, which I just thought the whole thing was shite, to speak in the native tongue. Number one, because like, who is legally to me, it was always like, this is a gimmick, right? Like, this is not a real thing. People are literally paying for them to print out a piece of paper that says you're a lord or a lady. Or that had to be in the fine print. Turned out, no, a lot of people were scammed up in it. People that made a lot of money. And you've seen a lot of YouTubers. I'm guessing if you YouTube, Scottish Lord title apology on YouTube, you'll see them. Because I watched a lot of them. And I always thought, like, you're a pretty decent sized channel. You never like critically thought about this one. You never was like, this is bullshit, right? Like, I should be saying this is a parody. Like, if you want me to print a piece of paper that says you're the Lady of Scotland, I'll do it for you. And I'll charge you half the rate these people were. But that was like a big thing. And it's just weird to me that YouTube is like the Wild West for FAFO. Effing around and finding out when it comes to advertisements. And in this case with the AG1, I mean, if you're looking for supplements, you obviously want your body to be healthy and for these things to do the opposite. But once you start looking up, falling down the little bunny rabbit hole and start looking up, well, who created this company? Oh, he's a shyster. He's already been known to scam with other companies that he had. Like, man, a simple Google search of meeting this dude or looking up this dude, you find out like, oh, his reputation ain't that reliable. Do I want it? Would you eat something? Would you eat something from somebody who was like, listen, I just robbed all these people of their money, but I want to sell you this healthy supplement? No, you wouldn't. It's not that hard to do. Come on, people. Act better. Critically think. We need to make America critically think again. All right, so a woman in Lakeland. Let's talk about Luigi Mangione. I cannot find a green Nintendo Luigi hat. Player 2, that's what I'll call it. I can't find the Player 2 hat, okay? They're sold out everywhere, even on eBay. Well, that's mostly where I shop. So if a GameStop by you has a Luigi hat, pick it up because they're going like hotcakes. And there's a lot of people who say violence isn't the answer, but even Adam Conover, who I like his activism and his style of stuff. CJ, my grandpa had a certificate that said he owned a piece of land at the Jack Daniels distillery. They will sell you anything. Yep. And I'm sure if he went in holding that piece of land, they'd be like, get the fuck out of here. I'll see if I can find a Luigi hat. Solis, don't you dare spend your money. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. If you want one for yourself, then okay. But I won't. And don't you dare. See, that's why I can't do capitalism. Because if anything, I'd rather send everybody that watches one. I'm bad at this business thing. But, I'd rather have people. Found one at GameStop, but there's only 2 left. Is it the, are you serious? Is it the winter hat? Like this, but with the L on it? Because I was looking on the GameStop app. I couldn't find it. Go to costumes.com. No, not the, sorry. Not the, Arwaz, what's up? Not the, what's it called? Not the, like the costume Luigi hat. It's a winter hat with the L on it. It's a green winter hat. Yeah, you can't find those. Those are sold out on eBay. They're sold out on Amazon. There's like some third-party weird sellers making some ghetto-looking ones that I don't even know if those are sold out because the eBay ones were not official. No, not the actual hat. I want something that I can wear everywhere. Okay, so the Luigi, Adam Conover. He does some great work. He when the SAG-AFTRA went on strike, he did some really fantastic coverage. He's in one of those unions. And he took you on the picket line, and his YouTube channel, I think, really exploded during those strikes in Hollywood. And he did a video today that I watched where he said, all these people want to start saying, like, violence isn't the answer. Violence isn't the answer. And I'll be the first to say, like, I hate violence. If you've ever been around violence, violence is so scary, so gnarly, so life-changing and altering. It is the worst thing ever. I will say it's the worst thing ever. But when Adam Conover is like, he said, quote, something like this. Like, violence in the streets has never made society better. He said something along the lines of those. If you watch his video today, you'll get to the point. It's like farther, it's more than halfway in. And he says, like, you know, people hurting each other in the streets has never led to a better society. And immediately I started commenting. I was like, I'm pretty fucking sure the Civil War led to a better society. So when people try to fucking skirt or like pretend that here in America, nothing has ever been violent and then gotten better, it's like bullshit, man. In fact, if you're a union person, you know union people died protesting. They died. Like, companies were sending people off them to murk them. So violence has really been, I don't know what you call it, but really been the gateway into a better life. But for me, it's like, listen, my cousin is John Brown. He helped spark the Civil War. And he started the Civil War. And if you learn about him, like, he was like, there's no way that this country is going to purge itself from its sins except by blood on both sides. He's like, everyone's going to pay for this great sin of this nation. And again, what I'm saying does not mean I'm promoting it. It's the most heinous thing in the world, but it's the last resort of the people who are not heard. Policies are not getting enacted. Like the Ben Shapiro's, he's all over YouTube right now. Everybody's watching his shit. And it's like, don't even give him the fucking space and time. He's such a dummy. And they're hypocrites too, because they'll celebrate certain violence. If the cops beat you up in the street, they'll celebrate. But as soon as the CEO or the wealthy or the upper class, this is what I mean by no war but class war. Because there's a class war and the wealthy are very organized. They don't need to be told to protect each other. They'll protect their wealth at all costs. Hence, the American healthcare system. Which, by the way, if you've never seen Michael Moore's Sicko, I talked about this on a live stream the other day. I couldn't think of the name. I was calling it Fahrenheit 9/11. My bad. His movie Sicko. It's free on YouTube. I've already watched it, but I linked it down below for you if you have not watched it. Because if you're young or from another country, it is a great expose into the world of American insurance, which means lack of medical care for us. And it's really sad and it's really disturbing. And it's from 2007, I think, 2008. Women and men in America blew up bridges to say you can't take my bread winner and send him to war. World War I. Yep. I'm getting lucky, but I found a Luigi beanie hat on Amazon. You did. They were all sold out when I was looking. Maybe they're restocking. Good on you, Solus. They have the regular trucker hats. I seen the trucker hats, but you know what, CJ? My head is so fucking big, and not just like arrogantly, like literally, like size-wise. I can't even wear fitted caps anymore because my hair's so thick. That should be a rap song. Hair so thick. So listen, that was my point. Like, Adam Conover's video, immediately I had to leave a comment. Like, bro, you can't fucking say that. Like, it's just amazing because people just need to think right now. If you were at the time of the Civil War, people were probably trying to call, like, let's negotiate on this shit. No, they weren't, because the South was like, fuck you, we're going to be a different country. But I'm sure there were people at the time who were like, you know, let's work on the policies of slavery. And it's like, yo, there are some things that just ain't fucking happening like that. Because if they were, they would have already been enacted. The Civil Rights Movement, you know, what led to that? And there were escalating points with the Black Panthers when they went armed to the state capitol in California. The one time the NRA was behind gun regulation. But I mean, it's that oppressor being like, you know, the oppressor and their bootlickers, whoever benefits from the system is going to tell you, oh, listen, whoever's got it good or isn't facing a denial, like this lady in Florida who got arrested, you know, she was on the call because her claim was denied. And the people who aren't going through that might tell you like, oh, violence isn't the answer. But the truth is violence is gnarly. I do not promote it. It is so scary. It is not fucking something you want to partake in. But apparently it was the answer for Anthem trying to roll back anesthesia times. And they rolled it back that same day the CEO got murked. And all of a sudden later that day, they were like, you know what? We're not going to put time limits on anesthesia. And the language they used too, when they first said it, they said, we're going to put time limits on it with the medical necessity or with like the advisement of medical professionals. It's like no medical professional is going to tell you to start a stopwatch on anesthesia. You know, no one's gonna. They're gonna say, however long we think the surgery will take 2 hours, but if we have a complication, they're not gonna say, well, the clock ran out, fuck you. Like, you know, so the language they use is even manipulative. Manipulative. So just be careful, because people are going to keep promoting this shit like, well, it's not the answer. But in the stories that I'm talking about, Anthem, not putting time limits on anesthesia. And then there's another one that happened a while ago, but it's getting some coverage again right now, that people in America, the top reason for bankruptcy is medical debt, okay? And there were people in America, in North Carolina, old folks that had some fucking shit happen, and they rang up a medical debt. The hospital put a lien on their house, right? And after they put the lien on their house, they had $100,000 just in interest on the debt. And that was magically forgiven. And 11,500 other people had their debt forgiven as well. And why shouldn't they? I mean, fuck anyone who's like, well, what about my debt? Who gives a shit? If theirs was forgiven, that's awesome. Everyone should be forgiven, but read these stories down below. It's amazing to me that, like, you could defend a CEO when there are old people who have liens on their houses because of the way insurance is set up in America. And if you talk to any foreigner about this or watch the movie Sicko, they'll laugh. They'll be like, damn, real? You're joking, right? This is a joke. You're lien on your house because you needed medical attention. So the Luigi effect. Slicks, YouTube, what's up? I remember you. Yeah, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. CJ, schools don't teach kids. The government doesn't want young minds to know. That's true. Tupac talked about talking about things like that. Slicks, good to see you, man. Good to see you. And everybody who's new or just joining up, I'm bad at saying this, but please hit subscribe. Support the channel. And the way you can support is hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can join me when I do go live, which is every weekday. And I'm going to try to stream some Fortnite. I'm getting better at OG. I was real bad at Fortnite OG, the new mode that they came out with, the new old mode. So it's kind of embarrassing to get smoked, but I'm getting better. Plus, I'm trying to get Solus to play with me so we can go live and clean up. So good to see you, Slicks YouTube. I don't know why your name reminded me of Fortnite, but do you play Fortnite? Support seeing Rob live. Solidarity. Yes, thank you, CJ. And if you guys want, join the Discord link down below. We got all different kinds of threads in there. Some for news, commentary, motivational quotes, inspirational quotes. Solus, I love seeing you put stuff in there. Fortnite. I was just asking if anybody uses Blender, the 3D animation app, because I want to learn that. It's not skill-based matchmaking. OG is filled with sweats. It is. But listen, the biggest thing that bugs me about OG, which they said they tweaked this, is if you play OG, the map is really broad and there's not much in between, like the locations, the points of interest. But the hardest thing is like to find a shield, to find the slurp juice for shields, and to find ammo. So like you'll find a uncommon gun and have 14 bullets, and then you're just trying to run away from people or trying to hit them with your pickaxe. It's like, this sucks. So that's what bugged me about OG. There's no vehicles. So if you land in a spot where there aren't a million people trying to get the 6 guns, you're like running around forever just trying to get mats to build to go and find, 26 pieces of ammo. But I'm getting better. You know you're getting better when you start to not even pay attention if you have shield, the blue slurp juice shield. Yeah, they don't have minis in the game. Yeah. OG is so much tougher, but I like it. I've started to appreciate it. At first, I was getting smoked out the gate, and I was like, this sucks, man. How are people having guns? I went through 4 houses. I haven't found 1 gun. So I need a friend. Solus, please play. Okay, so please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell if you play Fortnite, which Wonder, I haven't seen Wonder in a minute, but he said he was going to jump into the Discord and hit me up so we could play Fortnite. He said him and his son play, and me and my son share the account too. So let's get a team. Let's get a little group going. That would be cool. I would love to get a team. Me, Solus, we got to get Bandito and Wonder. We'll get a little team going. That'd be rad. Yeah, so, okay. Anyway, support the channel. Hit subscribe, please. CJ's even begging for me. I just want a friend on there. Because there'll be times where like you drop into a game and you know it's all little kids because they don't even mark a location. They all jump out of the bus. Everybody's screaming and running around. And you're just like, oh my God. Oh my God. I use it as a test though to get better. If I could save 3 people on my team, which I did the other day, you know you're getting better. Anyways. What else was in the news? Okay, so the families in North Carolina got their medical debt forgiven. Incredible. Like these stories, that's where you go, Ben Shapiro, you are full of shit. You're just a wealthy, out of touch, profiteer off the division of people. When you can read stories like this and be like, yeah, CEOs are a good thing. You know what? Every other country that has industrialized civilization that's considered first world doesn't have that America does. They all don't have health insurance CEOs. That's the only difference. They have all the other workers. They just don't have the shareholders and the CEOs to profit off the misery and denials of insurance claims, health insurance claims. So what else was in the news? Hold on, I wrote it on my hand because I didn't want to forget. Let me see. Uh-oh. Hold on. So we talked about the Florida woman. I mentioned Sicko. The debt got forgiven. Be careful of Joe Rogan promoting stuff. Be careful of any YouTuber promoting stuff. I know people, you look up to these people, you trust them. But listen, just take care of yourself first. That's my biggest thing. Like if there's a sponsor on YouTube that I would want, it's these. The Tea Tree Toothpicks, straight from Australia. I would do that. There's a few other things I would do. I would love to do these, the head wraps. Oh man. Like I would like to do not me undies. Remember when every YouTuber and podcaster was doing me undies? I would have sought out somebody who makes head wraps. Me head wraps. That's what I would like to do. And toothpicks. Those are the 2 things. Thank you. What's up, Apple Talk? Ding dong. Come on, man. These are my wife's. They were the only sunglasses I had. It was so sunny. I needed something. I broke all mine. And trust me, I tried to make my sunglasses last for a long time. Turns out the super glue, they fractured right here. And I tried to super glue them, and super glue did not work on whatever fake plastic my sunglasses were made out of. So these were in the car, and this is what I'm wearing. And I appreciate you. Plus, I'm running errands, so I think I'll look good in these. I'll wear them at night, too. The split on the CEO thing is definitely with people who have never had money problems, obviously, 100%. Ample Thought, when do you want, man? Ample Thought, have you joined our Discord? Join our Discord. It's awesome, and you should be in there because you can fill it with some good content, too. Plus, you're like a stats guy, so you could always... Shit, I told you guys I would also be linking my news stories in the Discord. I got to keep up with that. I started doing that, but I will do that, too. But yeah, man, let's do one. Ample Thought, do you play... I forgot. I know your kids play Fortnite. You should come on Fortnite, man. I was just talking about this. We'll get a team together. We'll get a little team going. Discord it's an app. You're not a Zennial. Well, I think you are. Gen X and Millennial. I think that's what... I don't like that they're calling us that. Let's just call it Gen Z. Or Gen X. Sorry, not Gen Z. But yeah, we'll do one next week. I gotta look at my schedule, but yeah. Build a Fortnite. Oh, it's simple. It doesn't matter how slow you are. We'll have so much fun. So join the Discord or leave in the comments your handle and let's do it. Let's play Fortnite. Because I think I'm going to try to stream some Fortnite this weekend. Should join a live show. Yeah, me and Ample Thought used to do live show. So, Ample, we'll have you on. Well, I'll have you back on. Let's pick a day next week. I just got to look at my schedule because I try to do it when I'm in between a bunch of other things. Like right now, I got to go finish some shit. It's just so many cars. I don't want to get back on the road. Okay, so the last story I want to talk about is Sesame Street. If you don't know, it went to HBO. They bought the rights to it so they could put it all up on their website, which sucks. You know, I would make jokes about like, you know, Sesame Street being like The Sopranos or whatever. Bad jokes. But they're still, I guess they're still on PBS. Again, I don't know how the logistics of this work, and this is something Ample Thought probably know. You should accept my invite for my channel. Oh, go on to your thing? Yeah, of course. Send me an invite. I'll come. But Sesame Street had a little run on HBO, and now HBO is looking to not repurchase the rights, and they're technically, I think, looking for a home for their digital collection again. They're not very specific on the discography of Sesame Street, but it's a long-running show. It's a public broadcast show originally, and even though it's still on PBS, HBO had the rights to it. Now, HBO, as a cost-cutting measure, is they took almost all the seasons off of their app. And I knew that because I like going back and watching the Sesame Street from the 70s and showing my kids. That's when Jim Henson was in his like trippy psychedelic phase and really experimenting with the TV medium. It's cool stuff if you can find it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you know that song, you know what I'm talking about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yip, 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 yip. That was my Halloween costume. But now they're looking for someone to purchase it. And just like John Mayer bought the Muppet Creature studio in LA, some celebrity should come out, buy the rights. Here's my radical take. I said I had a radical take on Sesame Street. I think Sesame Street should be free for everyone, and all of the episodes should be published on some government website where any kid could watch it at any time for free. I think there should be a government channel, a government-run, publicly funded, through our taxes channel where it just plays on repeat. How do we have Pluto and Tubi and Tubby and all these things, but Sesame Street is looking for a home? I think that has helped so many kids. It has served the community so amazingly. Every single episode from the season premiere, the pilot, if they had a pilot, to today should be all on one government website, free to access for everyone. And of course, people like Ben Shapiro will be like, it's socialism. Who cares? What does it affect you? Just because your kids get to watch Teletubbies or whatever the fuck you put on for them because you can afford it doesn't mean other kids shouldn't have the luxury of all experiencing Sesame Street. Same with Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers is on Pluto, though. I think it's Pluto. Because I make my kids watch it. They're like, Dad, we're too old for this. I'm like, you're never too old for Mr. Rogers. I only know 8675309. The entire that's I should have mentioned that. The entire library, well, it's not the entire library because they took off I forget where they started to remove some of the episodes, but you can't access all of them. But it will still be on HBO till 2027. But they're looking for a home. And this is a perfect time for the government to step in and say, your tax dollars at work, for folks. You know, we're going to put it all on a website. You can access it whenever. Any kid can access it. I mean, if they all got iPads and iPhones and Kindles or whatever, these kids should at least have a free app to always watch any episode of Sesame Street and experience the Sesame Street of the 70s and 80s like everyone else. That is a liberty that every child should be able to enjoy. The psychedelic musings of Jim Henson in his experimental TV medium phase. My husband used to leave notes on people's cars. Contact number was 567-630. That's so funny. Oh, man. All right. I got to finish running some errands. Ample Thought in the house. Go subscribe to his channel. Don't tell me your channel's stale right now. Come on, create some content. Anything, everything. Just something. But if he's creating, go subscribe to him. Soulless, I need you to play some Battle Royale OG with me, please. Can't deal with all these little kids. I donate to PBS. They should buy Sesame Street. They should. They should just own it. It should be for free. Everyone should be able to access it at any time. Anytime. I have music too. He does have music. So please, if you're new here, if you're watching this later, well, thank you very much. Thank you for enduring my radical take of everyone. Every child should have the full catalog of Sesame Street, especially Jim Henson's psychedelic experimental phase. free to access take, that radical lefty take I have. Free Sesame Street for everyone, anytime. What next? Free lunch? Yeah, free lunch too. Kids in Massachusetts get free lunch because we tax the wealthy. Gonna check out your channel, Ample? Yeah, check out Ample's channel. Staple of Americanas. Yeah, that's, I don't know why people say like as American pie, or as American as American pie. They should say stuff like as American as a gun on a toddler, or Sesame Street, or, you know, something like that. But yeah, hit subscribe and then hit the notification bell. Keep an eye out because I will go live Fortnite this weekend. Check out Ample Thought, CJ, Ample, Solus, what was it, Slicks? I think it's Slicks YouTube. Thank you guys all for checking out the live. Again, I link all the news down below. Please read it. And most importantly, I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did. I linked Michael Moore's video, Sicko. It's a movie he made in 2007 about the American healthcare industry, and it highlights how deviant it is, how malicious, how ghoulish this industry is. Even in one point, Michael Moore interviews someone who worked in the industry, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, this dude's on tape, quoted as saying, did I kill anyone with my denial? Like, he's talking about denying people care, and he's like, did I kill anyone? I don't know. Did I ruin anyone's lives? Yeah, probably. And like the fact that that's not criminal, that system can acknowledge like people are dying, people are not having access to the healthcare that we as a civilization have worked towards, and they're not busting these doors down, arresting every single CEO, locking them up, throwing them away, giving them life sentences for murder, tells you something. And that's why people want to buy Luigi hats, beanie hats. That's why people want to celebrate this. That's why everybody's excited, because this can elicit change. You know, when you get all people, left, right, middle, center, up, down, Green Party, Rainbow Party, Social Workers Party, ultra conservatives, not the libertarians, because they're the only ones. But when you get that many people to all agree on one issue, like, yeah, these people are evil. These people are heartless. These people benefit $22 billion in profits. After all expenses paid, $22 billion in profits, $120 billion paid to shareholders in stock buybacks. When they got that kind of money to enrich themselves, but denying people for insulin, cancer treatments, wheelchairs, I've heard so many stories, and the news ain't interviewing them. They're sharing them on social media. But when there's that many people that can come together and go, you know what? Fuck that dude and free Luigi, then, you know, things need to change. And like not progressively through fucking hope. You know, that's the funniest thing. Ben Shapiro saying like, oh, then you need to have policy. This is what you have discussions on. I'm like, bro, there's no discussions. You understand, United Health, this election gave $500,000 or $750,000 to Kamala and $250,000 to Trump. You can't have a discussion when people are already bought and paid for. So watch Sicko. Michael Moore, the trial is going to blow stuff up. Yeah, you're not Robert. What? Not Robert. But so I linked Michael Moore. Michael Moore put his full movie Sicko on YouTube for free. Watch it. It is hard to watch though. If you are an empath, it is very hard to watch because you watch people suffering, you know, in allegedly the wealthiest country in the world. Wealthy for who? So I really wanted to link that, and I really wanted to tell people. Also, if you're on Blue Sky, follow me on Blue Sky. Blue Sky is the only spot I'm at now, really. I go onto Twitter just to kind of retweet shit, but Twitter is a hellscape. It is a dumpster fire. So Blue Sky is pretty radical. I like it. And if you don't have it, it's just like a new social media app, and it's not filled with Nazis and porn bots. So, so I like it, and that's where I'm at a lot. So if you're on Blue Sky, give me a follow at Boston Rob. Your link to Discord doesn't work. Oh no. Ooh, maybe Solus, I gotta check it. Maybe it was like a 2-week link. I forget. Solus, if you're still here, would you mind throwing a link to the Discord in the comments once? Yeah, go to the Children's Cancer Ward if you want an eye opener. I can't, yeah. Yeah, drop the link. Thank you, Solus. I appreciate you, man. And please play Battle Royale with me later tonight. Please, I'm begging you, Solus. I can't deal with these little kids anymore. These 12-year-olds screaming bad words, calling me a noob. When I'm like, you're dead. You're the one who got smoked in Fortnite. And you're saying, I'm bad at the game? I'm coming to save you. You're lucky. Sometimes you just got to do an emote dance over them while they're hurting. Be like, shut your mouth. Teach them a lesson. There's the Discord link. Ample thought. So please, Solus, I'm begging you, man. It is hard to deal with these kids who yell at you. A lot of projection going on in Fortnite. I'll tell you that. But the good thing is like Fortnite lets you do dances and emotes. And when they're on the ground waiting for you to revive them, you just do a dance over them. Be like, you tell me who's bad. Who's dancing right here? Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right. There's the link to Discord in the live chat. Please hit subscribe. Come on. I got to crack 1,600. We've been in 1,500 for months now, I feel like. Maybe years. Maybe decades. Maybe we're going to have 1,500 subscribers and we're in a time loop. Maybe this is an alternate timeline. But I need your help. I need your support. I go live every single day. I haven't missed a day. Well, I didn't do Thanksgiving because that was like, that's a personal day where you want to stuff your face with dead carcasses of animals. So, I respect that American tradition. But other than that, I'm probably going to not go on Christmas because, birth of Jesus and all. But I'm live every day. I've been doing this for like 8 months now. And I'm very grateful to everybody who has subscribed. And I'm very grateful to everybody who has, chatted it up in the live chat. It means the world to me, for real. Because I don't get paid for this. I don't sell you anything. I just do it for the love. I really do love doing this. So it's rad to see people commenting, people hitting the like and subscribe button. And shout out to all my what are they called, my admins and stuff, CJ Solus, everybody who's doing the work with me. And we'll have Ample of thought on next week. We got to see some good news to hit, and then we'll connect and we'll do this. But Ample, you got to be in our Discord. You'd love Discord. Plus, you got all the numbers, the stats, the interesting info. Ample's got some good info, and he could always light it up there. So, Jesus loves gamers. You're right. Oh, what's up? And Curtis jumping in right at the buzzer. What's up, Curtis? Curtis is in the Discord. Curtis does some amazing artwork. I was going to ask you, Curtis, I don't know if you draw ravens or orca whales or wolves, but your fucking octopus is fire, bro. If you want to see his artwork, go to our Discord. He's been posting stuff. The octopuses, I was so jealous when I see that. I was like, damn, I wish I could draw an octopus like that. And my son loves octopuses, so I've tried to draw them really cool. I did one on my daughter's desk at one point when she was moving. But yeah, man, if you do any artwork like orca whales, knocking over yachts or crows or wolves, maybe I could put some of your artwork up on the thumbnails. So yeah, the Discord is cool for everything. But I got to get going. Curtis, good to see you. Ample thought. I'm so glad you got to join. Really good to see and hear from you. Solus and CJ, much love always. All right, guys, have a great night. And keep an eye out for the alerts. Hit the notification bell because we'll chop it up. I'll have the mic on. We'll riff when I get Solus to join me on some Fortnite later.